go, because there's many different things that we can offer them that is not so a giant, not so expensive, or not so, how can I say, important, but valuable in their eyes, right? Like you can say to them, for instance, look, if we can organize this, that you eat your vegetables every day for a week, I will take you for a walk in a park, or I will take you to a basketball game, or I'll play badminton with you, or I'll spend some time with you, or I'll read a book, or we can go shopping, or I'm just talking in different age groups, right? So whatever that fits your situation, you can do that, right? Now, number one thing is to find out what they want. Everybody wants something, right? Even if it's just love, right? You think, oh, yeah, but I love my kids, Yeah, but maybe they don't feel it because you're not spending enough time with them, or you're not, when you are spending time with them, you got your mobile phone stuck in your ear and they just can't seem to get through to you, right? So, yeah. I'm not here to judge anyone, especially not coming from an angle of that I never did any mistakes, because I've done hundreds of mistakes. But my kids have probably learned to forgive me by now. If not, it's probably too late, right? So what I'm suggesting to you is that that you look at the situation and you try and think of other alternative ways of getting your kids. Now, one particular situation I come across or think about is that where the daughters are staying home and mama is controlling them because mama don't want them to go out and do something and get into trouble and all kinds of things, right? Though mama is trying to do the best thing for the daughters and love them very much or whatever, then them not being able to experience the world is a far bigger crime than anything else, right? It is a safe world, and people can move around in it without dying and falling over, and you cannot do anything about that anyway. You cannot follow anyone for 24 hours a day and make sure that they don't get into trouble, they don't fall down a drain, they don't fall off a horse, and the airplane keep flying, right? You cannot do that. You might as well just try and settle down with that information and just relax a little bit about thing. Trust your kids. They will return your favor. Trust your kids and let them be, let them understand and live life. Sometimes we get hurt, sometimes we, but we cannot possibly foresee every situation they come in and warn them in advance, okay? Imagine that. I mean, at the moment I'm in Cambodia, right? And you look at the kids there, like they're like 3 and 4 and 5 year old, and they're walking alongside of the road all by themselves. They're crossing the roads, they're driving bicycles, these are 4, 5 year olds, and there's nobody around, right? They have to walk maybe 5 kilometers to their school or something, right? Heavy traffic on both sides of the road. There is no forgiving there, but everybody looks after each other, right? Should a kid accidentally run out on the street, the likelihood of them being run over is almost nothing, because everybody is looking out for everybody, right? You could literally blindfold yourself and walk across the road, and the chances of you surviving that would be 99%. So that's maybe something that we can learn from in the Western world, right? In the Western world, we have this very silly notion. Yes, we will stop for somebody, but then we'll curse them and tell them how dumb they are and all that sort of thing for making such a stupid mistake, right? But let's just fall back a little bit and let's just relax about the whole thing. And we are not out there we don't own the roads, we don't control other people's things, and people make mistakes. You imagine running somebody over and killing them, someone who made a mistake. How are you going to justify that afterward, going, well, I had the right of way? It was my right. I could drive 80 kilometers an hour, and that person was silly enough to stop or step out in front of me. So I cleaned them up, and I feel good. So there. I mean, how are you going to deal with this sort of stuff, right? You know, it's the same as this nightclub stupid thing. You go out and somebody says the wrong thing or whatever, and you have to knock them down. And you know, many people get killed from this sort of thing. But what sort of thinking is that? You know? Would you like your kids to have that sort of thinking, right? I certainly would not. You know, we are all people, and we all just try to do the very best that we can to have an enjoyable, you know, lifetime and without too many hassles, right? You certainly don't want to run around there and have all these grievances all the time, right? I mean, what would you say if your kid never came home and you heard the story and somebody just got upset with their mother and then took it out on your kid and smacked their head in and put them in the hospital and they died? How are you going to even, you know, justify that sort of thing, right? You'll get so unhappy and so sad. So what are you going to do? Are you now going to run after them and kill them? Is that the story? That means that now you got 2 or 3 of their brothers. They're going to come and kill you, right? Where's it going to stop? You know, come on. Let's just think about the consequences of our actions. Yeah, and just try to love mankind a little bit more, right? Including letting our kids, you can of course control your kids' environment somewhat, right? But, you know, do not try to restrain them from doing things and from exploring life, because it will just hit you back in the end, right? Somebody who's very worried about crossing the road is more likely to be run over than somebody who feels street smart and who is very clever about, you know, doing things in the world, right? People who are smart and have confidence when they travel, they enjoy themselves, they have a good time, they don't run around and they don't get into trouble, right? So this is something that I really wish you to take to heart and just start thinking about what's your situation and how's your relationship? Are you dominating your partner and expecting that they do your every whim, or are you empowering your partners to be very good? Okay, so this is the end of my talk here today, and I hope you enjoy some of this. And if you do, please do something, share, like, yeah, and so that I'm able to sort of continue putting this information forward to you. So thank you for listening and have a wonderful time. This is Lifecoach Nick from Cambodia saying enjoy your day. Thank you very much.